So the first thing that we want to do for this question is to write the ordered pairs for this relation over here. Now, what our ordered pairs will look like will be, first we have the student name, so student, and then the next pair or next point would be then the mark. So let's start with the very first student name, which is Sonia, and Sonia's corresponding mark, if you follow the arrow down, is just 8. So our first ordered pair is Sonia with the mark 8. Now our second pair would be then Jennifer, which then corresponds with 10. So we have Jennifer, which corresponds with the mark 10. Next we have Afzal with the corresponding mark of 9. So we can then write Afzal first, then the mark 9. And then finally, our final name will be then Tyler, whose mark corresponds to 8. So then we have Tyler and the mark 8. So these are the ordered pairs for this relation. Now, the second thing we want to do now is to find a domain and range for this relation. Normally, we are given a set of numbers or some points that we use for domain and range, but in this case, we are given names. So then our domain, instead of a bunch of numbers like x and a set of real numbers with some conditions, we can just say that the domain is Sonia, Jennifer, Afzal, and finally Tyler. Because these are all the students that are in the first set. Now, for the range, which corresponds to the mark, be careful with this 7 over here, because if you notice, none of these names correspond to the mark 7. So 7 is not in the range of our relation right now. The only numbers that are in it is 8, 9, and 10, because each of these numbers have someone's name connected to it. Especially 8, it has Sonia and Tyler. So what we can say then is the range is just 8, 9, and 10. Finally, what we want to do is figure out whether this relation is a function or not. To do so, we just have to find out, do each of the students have only one corresponding mark? Because if a student has 2 corresponding marks, then it will fail the vertical line test if we actually graph it. So let's find out. Sonia has only 1 mark, which is corresponding to 8. And Jennifer only has 1 mark, which is 10. Afzal, which is 9. And Tyler, which is 8. So what that means is this relation is a function.